Hello and welcome to the Karpfucius Says Podcast, the show where we talk about anything and everything related to living a more purposeful and meaningful life. I am your host, Michael Karp, aka Karpfucius. This is the very first episode of the Karpfucius Says Podcast, and I'm starting this podcast as basically an experiment and training, actually, for myself to try to find my own voice. I've spent years and years basically thinking about life, contemplating things, learning, having experiences, creating as well, creating content, writing, videos, yada, 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 right? But I am in a place now where I feel I really need to start sharing these things, and I really need to find my own voice. And a podcast is one of the best ways for me to do that, and to hopefully reach an audience of people who can benefit from what I have to say and have some fun in the process, and be entertained. So those are the primary intentions. Right now, I think we'll be talking a lot about personal growth, spiritual growth, consciousness, health, travel, business, basically a lot of the things that I really care about, and a lot of the things that a lot of the ways in which I want to serve the world through what I have within and through my life experience. And to connect with other people and to hopefully resonate with those who are on similar journeys or who are starting similar journeys in life. I do believe there are a heck of a lot of us who are not only on this journey but are continuing to start their journeys of personal spiritual growth, consciousness, awakening, and all of that different stuff. And to be honest, I'm just inspired to do it, so should be fun. In this first episode, I was just in the shower and I started thinking about a concept that has really helped me understand the relationship between cause and effect in our lives. Primarily the relationship between our inner worlds and our outer worlds. My first question to you is, did you know that your inner world creates your outer world? Did you know that what goes on within you is what causes your life to unfold the way that it does? There has been a paradigm for many years that basically says, like, people look at other people who have succeeded or achieved something, and the first thing they look at is the surface level stuff. They look at the way they look. They look at how they were born. They look at the natural talents they were born with. They look at all this stuff that is more surface level and on the outside. They see an outside result and they think that the cause is something outside as well. I also thought this way, right? Especially growing up, I'd see guys who were really good with girls, right? And I'd look at their muscles, or I'd look at how good looking they were, or I'd look at how much money they had, or like how popular they were, how good they were at a certain sport. Like, I was an athlete too, but I was a runner, you know. I wasn't a football or baseball player, right? And so I'd look at stuff like that and say, oh, that's the cause, right? Oh, this guy's like a popular football player, you know, and he's getting all the girls because of that, right? Or like looking at someone like people who have created massive companies, right? Like, what's the cause? How did they do that, right? And you look at something outside of them, like, oh, they had like really good, like their parents were really smart, and then they also were born really smart, and then they went to a smart school, and like you're kind of, even though that is within, you're looking at something that's more surface level, right? Like, oh, they're smart, that's why they succeeded, right? And this actually messed me up for a while, because I continued to look at these external things, right? I started a business right out of college, and I wanted to start an online business and travel around the world. And I was focused very much on the surface level stuff, like the skills I needed, the knowledge I needed, and the actions that I needed to take in order to get what I want. And I followed the typical entrepreneur path of working your ass off, right? Like I worked 12-hour days and sometimes even more. I skipped events with my friends like the Super Bowl and like sometimes birthday parties and going out and having fun and going on trips. I skipped like a lot of that stuff, and in order to work, right? Because I thought that action was the variable that created my success. And for some people, this is all they need to know. All they need to know is which actions to take. For me, this wasn't the case. A lot of the things that I tried to do, they may have worked out for a bit, but they weren't long lasting. A lot of the stuff, that I tried to do for like 8 years. Just so much of it didn't come to the fullest fruition of the vision that I had in mind. And it wasn't until I took a trip to Southeast Asia at the end of 2018 and spent 10 months out there that I really learned why so many things hadn't really worked out the way that I had envisioned them. And it is because of this concept. Our inner worlds create our outer worlds. And the way that there's a lot that goes into this, like it's a massively deep subject, but there is one really key concept that I want to share with you right now that has helped me to understand it and should help you understand it in a very clear and practical and actionable way. And this concept is called vibrational proportion. It is the proportion of your vibration, or the proportion of your energy that is focused on something. That is actually, it's the proportion of your energy that is in alignment with something. So, for example, every vibration has basically two ends of it. If you imagine it like a stick, there's one end of the stick and the other end of the stick. Or if you imagine it like a spectrum, there's one end and then the other end. Let's take the vibration of abundance. On one end of the stick, you have 100% abundance. On the other end, you have 0% or lack of abundance. Those are the two extremes. 100% abundance or 0% abundance or lack of abundance, right? Very rarely do you find anyone living 100% on either side of the vibrational stick, right? Very rarely do you find someone at absolute 0% abundance. And at the same time, very rarely do you find someone at absolute 100% abundance, right? At least for now. Maybe that will change as time goes on, and I think it will. But usually, most people, the average person or the majority of our 8 billion human population, global population, they have some sort of proportion between on a certain vibration. For example, they might be at a level of 60% abundance, 40% lack, right? Or they might be at 40% abundance, 60% lack. Or they might be at 80% abundance, 20% lack, right? That is the proportion, the vibrational proportion of their abundance. Or something that might be a bit easier to envision is health. Someone might be at 80% health, 20% lack of it. Someone might be at 50% health and 50% lack of it. Someone might be at 100% health and 0% lack of it, which would be called perfect health. What we really want to understand is what proportion do we need to get to in order to achieve what we want. Let's say we want to improve our health, right? In order to be in a state where most of us want to be when it comes to health or abundance or anything else, you want to be at least over 50%. That's sort of the primary goal. You want to be at least over 50% of your energy in alignment with the thing that you want. But really, I think most of us are trying to hit at least 60 and really more like 70, 80, 90%, right? I think basically all of us will be super, super happy at 80% or above. We're kind of satisfied and content at like 70% or above. At 60% or above, we're a bit like, oh, things are okay, but they could be better. And when you're at 50%, you're probably like, okay, I really need to do something, right? So what we're aiming for here is 70, 80, 90%, right? And for me, I'm an idealist. I always go for the biggest thing I can imagine. So I'm going for 100. But usually we're looking at 70, 80, 90% abundance. We're looking for 70, 80, 90% health. We're looking for 70, 80, 90% joy. Looking for 70, 80, 90% happy in our relationships, romantic or friendships or family. And when you understand how your vibrational proportion works, you can look at the different areas of your life and see, okay, where am I really at in my health, right? Am I at like 70%? I want to get to 80. Where am I at with my relationships? Where am I at with my spiritual life? Where am I at in my business? Where am I at in my financial life? And it gives us a lot of clarity where we understand, okay, I don't absolutely need to hit 100% in order to be really, really happy and really, really satisfied and really in balance within that area of my life. Like if you're at like 60 or 70, you go, hey, it's only like 10 or 20 more percent till I hit like 80. And I'm really like, I'm where I want to be. At least I'll be really happy at that level, and it can take some of the pressure off. So for me, going back to abundance, when I really think about it, I've lived a very abundant life so far. Not in every area, but I have had, an abundance of friends, an abundance of love in my life, and abundance of memories, an abundance of amazing experiences. For the most part, an abundance of health. I've even dealt with health stuff, but I still consider myself to have an abundance of health. And in the areas where I'm like, okay, I could use some more abundance in this area, I go, okay, what percent do I really think I'm at? I'm at least over 50, right? Because I'm not, things aren't in like a dire situation. So I'm probably, okay, maybe I'm at like 60. Okay. And it's only 10 more percent to hit 70. It's not that much further for me to go to be at a place where I'm satisfied. And it's just another 10% to hit 80, where I'll be like really super happy. And then another 10% to hit 90, where I'm like, holy crap, I'm like super successful. And then it's only another 10% to hit my absolute idealistic goal of, basically perfection. But, I chase perfection just because it's fun. And I enjoy everything that I learn in the journey. Because there comes a certain point where you're happy, and then you're already receiving so much satisfaction from whatever that area of your life is that, you just enjoy it at that point. But the main point here that I want to drive home with you is our inner worlds do create our outer worlds. I did not understand this concept of vibrational proportion. I didn't understand the concept of how our energy causes our life to manifest. So when I was really struggling with stuff, I kept on looking at things outside of me. I kept on being like, what the heck? Why didn't this work? I took all the right actions. I didn't understand that I needed to change what was within me in order to change the life I was living, in order to get the results I was looking for in that certain area of my life. I didn't realize that I needed to increase the proportion of my energy that was actually focused on what I wanted. I may have wanted abundance, but I was focused too much on lack. I may have wanted success, but I was focused too much on the fears and the ego-driven stuff, and the misalignments and the things that were getting out of balance, and how my thoughts and feelings and emotions weren't really in alignment enough with what I wanted. It wasn't that they were completely out of alignment. I wasn't at 0%, but I wasn't at a high enough proportion to actually achieve and experience what I wanted to experience. So, if there is something in your life that is not exactly the way you want it to be, it's not that you're at 0%. It's just that you're not at a high enough percentage of your energy that is in alignment with it. And if you just get 5% more in alignment with what you want, you will experience progress. And then if you get just another 5% more in alignment with what you want, you will experience a lot of progress. And you will begin to understand the true nature of cause and effect in a human life. That really it is as within, so without. As within, as your energy is, as your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and all the other things that make up your energy, as those things are, that is how your life unfolds. So in order to improve your external life, improve your inner one, right? This is why joy is practical. This is why gratitude is practical. It's why appreciation is practical. It's why love is practical. It's why all the universe is set up in a way where we have a positive feedback mechanism between the way we feel and what we want, right? And the way we think and what we want. And I used to have this paradigm where when I am successful, I will be happy, right? I even remember very, very clearly telling my friend and my roommate back in 2017, kind of a few years into starting my business, I literally said to him super emotionally, when I'm going to be so happy when my business gets off the ground, right? And it's not that that isn't true, but when you understand that being happy helps your business get off the ground, it completely shifts your energy, right? When you understand that being in joy helps you manifest the joyful relationship, when you understand that feeling healthier, feeling stronger helps you manifest the health that you want, then you really understand how the cause and effect relationship of a human life works. And you really, really understand the process of getting more and more and more of what you want in your life that you don't already have yet. And it can help you appreciate the simple stuff. I understand that the simple things that bring me joy also help me accomplish the bigger goals and bigger dreams and the things that may be more complex. I know that the simple joy of appreciating the weather or a sunny day actually helps me achieve my dreams. So that is what I want to leave you with today for this first episode. Pay attention to your energy, pay attention to your inner world, and take care of it. Take care of it. It's massive. It's the biggest thing. Literally, as within, so without. Take care of your inner world. Take care of your joy, your balance, your health, and you will make progress. You'll make progress towards everything that you want in your life. All right, thank you very much for listening. I'm Michael Karp. This has been the first episode of the Karpfucius Says Podcast. Hopefully the first of many, many more. Follow, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!